Good morning. Today, I'm going to be giving you a big old life update. To be honest, not a lot has progressed, which is one of the reasons why I have actually been feeling, I'd say over the last couple of weeks, quite anxious and stressed. And it's just this week, I feel like I've kind of reached a place, totally unjustifiably, but I've reached a place of like true calm and serenity. And I was trying to think to myself, why do I feel so relaxed when that's totally not in my nature? And there's so much that isn't where I hoped it would be. And I think it's a combination of reasons. Firstly, I'm in a good place in my cycle, which always helps. Those hormones feel a bit more balanced, so I'm able to tackle things more easily. Secondly, I wear this Oura ring, and if I've drunk even a glass of wine the night before, it has such a big impact on my sleep. It means my resting heart rate basically is elevated way into the night, so my sleep score's lower. I feel groggy the next day, and I used to just brush off, a glass of wine like it was nothing, but I can actually see in the data now how much that impacts my body. And I really want to focus on just getting rid of this last stubborn bit of belly fat. And I thought, why not? Now is going to be a really emotional, turbulent time for me anyway. I need all of the help and support I can get in terms of trying to stay level-headed and measured. So I'm knocking alcohol on the head a week ago, and I've already noticed the difference. It's been a really good idea for me. So that's the second reason. The third reason is I had just kind of a bit of a breakdown to James, and I was like, is this irresponsible? Basically, we haven't sold the house. We haven't got jobs, either of us. And I think even if one of those things was somewhat progressing, like we'd accepted an offer on the house, or James had an interview or something, but there hasn't been anything. And so I was saying to James, that was really irresponsible of us to consider moving, like actually going through with this when we don't have one of those kind of basics lined up. And he gave me what he calls and I won't say his surname, but the something guarantee, his surname guarantee. And he's like, it's going to be okay. We've just got to trust the universe, trust the process. So he didn't use the words trust the universe because that's not very him. But he basically said, we've just got to go with it. We've made the decision, and we could keep postponing it for every little reason. And also, if we did postpone it, we would lose money on the flights and the traveling. I think you could just rearrange the times, but we sat down and we've consciously decided, no, we're just going to go for it. Another thing that has alleviated some of my concerns is we are going to be able to stay with James's brother's family, and they've got like this Airbnb cottage that they have so kindly blocked out for us, and it's like a little 3-bedroom cottage. It's perfect, and it's next to them, so I feel like at least we have a base for the first couple of months while we're finding our feet. So that's another thing that's kind of I'm clinging on to for some reassurance, and so grateful for them for doing that. But that's another reason why I'm kind of feeling calm. At least I know where we're going to be. I can show the children pictures of it as well, so it's helping them to prep what's going to happen. There are some things you can't control in life, and it's not worth your time or your energy worrying about those things. What will be will be. I'm doing what I can. I'm trying to push forward and control what is within my realm of control, but outside of that, whatever happens, happens. So where to start? I suppose a good place to start would be our house. We haven't sold it, as I said. It went on the market early April, which was 3 months ago now. And I think I naively just thought, we were told it would sell quickly. We were keen to put it on at a competitive price. I'd done some research, watched a few YouTube videos that said, it's always price that is the reason for not selling, or it's mostly always price, unless there's something significantly wrong with your house. And it's much better to put it on a reasonable amount and have competing offers than put it on too high price and then it stay on the market for ages and you have to do reductions. So I was really conscious of that. And I said that to our estate agent. Their original valuation was really high, and we ended up putting it on for 50,000 less than their original valuation. We have had quite a few viewings. We probably had between 9 and 12 viewings. A couple of people that really like it and want to buy it, but no one's proceedable. And I mean, I've never sold a house before, so I don't know what the norm is, but I'm like, surely you wouldn't start looking until your house was at least on the market. Maybe not, I don't know. But so those people are still trying to sell their houses. And not obviously, might not be obvious at all, but the housing market is not good at the moment. I think we've probably picked a really awful time to sell. And so everyone else who's trying to sell their houses so they can buy this is obviously also in the same position. So that's another element that's kind of against us. But even so, the estate agents, they then advised us to reduce, which we said, fine, if you think that's going to generate a sale. Obviously didn't, and we have actually reduced again since then. So our house now is on the market for 100,000 less than it was originally valued for. And I'm aware that, the market dictates the price, but I also feel like we lost an opportunity. It's well known that spring is one of the preferable times to sell a house, and we've missed spring. We're now well into the depths of summer holidays, and so it's looking like it's gonna roll into autumn time, which is not ideal at all, especially considering we're leaving in October. So it doesn't look like we're going to sell the house before we go, and we've just kind of made peace with that, and we are budgeting accordingly. But it means we're going to be paying for a mortgage and bills, life insurance, building insurance and everything for an empty property. Now, I'm sure you're probably thinking, why don't you just let it? I know that the rental market is scrabbling for houses, for every property available, there's multiple people that want the property or need the property. But we really want to buy somewhere in New Zealand, and we wouldn't be able to afford to do that without selling this property first. But the bottom line is, in regards to the house, no viewings coming up, no offers on the table, and no sale. Right, I need to get to work now, and I'll catch you later on, most likely when I'm taking Ardie for a walk. Work meeting, and I'm actually done for the day, which is great. So I thought I would take this opportunity to take Ardie for a walk and sit down and really catch you up on all of the latest. So the first big thing that is amazing is that my visa has been approved. It's actually been approved for a while now. I think after the last update I did, it came through about a month after. And I don't think I mentioned, but the visa I'm on is a resident partner visa. So it lasts for 2 years. I can work, I can travel during that time. And then after that 2 years, I have the option to apply for a permanent visa. So that's super exciting, because that was a worry, I think, the last time I spoke to you. And I'm glad that now I can actually go to New Zealand officially. The boys both have passports, so it was never a concern for them. But that's great. That's one real positive. In terms of the children, we are really focused now on getting them fully prepped and excited about moving to New Zealand. So we're talking about it all the time. We've got nursery on board with that too. So they're bringing it up around their friends at any opportunity. For example, they were learning about places in the world, and they chose New Zealand as a topic to talk more about what animals are there and really working with us to help get the children excited, which is really nice. Sadly, Leo has stopped calling it Zoo Zealand, which pulls at my heartstrings a bit, just because they're just growing up so quickly. And I know everybody says that and it's so cliche, but it is both amazing and scary at the rate that they do change and progress. So yeah, it's no longer Zoo Zealand. The school year in New Zealand's different. They start with the calendar year. He turns 5 in February, so he will start just at the new calendar year, so in January. All of his friends in nursery at the moment are, well, those that are there for term time have already left just recently, and the ones that are staying over the summer holidays will then go up to school in September. We toyed with the idea of sending Leo to the local primary school, but as it was only for 7 weeks, we just thought that it's not really gonna be beneficial for him, and it might be, I think he'd adjust fine to going up to the primary school here, but I then worry about how that would impact his excitement and preparation for the transition to starting school in New Zealand. So we've decided to hold off, and he's just going to stay at nursery. So all the children that are in the class lower than him now, then he'll be with. So I hope he doesn't really notice. I'm hoping he's too young to really make the connection that he's kind of left behind and all of his friends have moved on. But we just keep talking about what his new school's going to be like there. We actually haven't decided which school he's going to. It's a choice of 2. But I've made contact with both of them, and they are super nice and talking about how it's all about, you know, being barefoot and climbing trees, which will really suit Leo. And so we're going to go and visit both of the schools once we touch down in New Zealand before they break up for their Christmas break. I also really wanted to try and get any big transitions with the children done before we move, because I think it takes such a toll on them, the actual move, leaving all of our family that we're close to here and getting used to life abroad. So I wanted to do one of the big things whilst we were here and settled to save there being too much change at the other end. So we just moved Frankie into a big bed, and he's taken to it so well. They're in bunk beds. He's in the bottom bunk and he's loving not being in a cot anymore, basically. He used to be shouting in the morning, "Mommy!" And we go to get him and he'd be like, you know, like a little prisoner on the bars, wanting to get out. So he's really happy being in a big bed, and now that means that we can pack down the cot. I'm not ready to get rid of it yet. I've already spoken about this, but I think we're 99% sure we're not having another one, but just in case, and I'm just not ready. The other thing that I really wanted to bite the bullet and get sorted was getting rid of his dummy. Oh, the dummy! I know it's such a controversial topic, but didn't use a dummy with Leo. We did use one with Frankie. He was just a real sucky baby, and I breastfed him for the first 4 months or so, and I just couldn't be a dummy to him when I had a toddler to look after. So I used a dummy, and I know I sound like I'm justifying it. There's nothing wrong with using a dummy. Like, you just do whatever works. However, in saying that, in hindsight, for me, I wish I hadn't used it. I wish I had taught him to self-soothe, mainly because he's just so attached to it now. And the health visitor who we saw recently for his 2-year appointment was like, I think it really would be a good time to get rid of it. You know, it can impact their speech development and their teeth can be affected as well. We're going traveling around Thailand. Don't really want to be taking dummies around Thailand. So we are going to try and tackle the dummy thing soon. I say soon, and I've got this look on my face because we were supposed to do it this weekend just gone, and we both backed out. To be fair, a little bit of backstory there. I had bought this book to prep him for it. It was about the dummy fairy. I'd even gone to the lengths of changing the name in the story to Frankie, to his name. And I've lost the book. I don't know where I've put it. That was our excuse. You know, we haven't had time to prep him. We haven't had time to read the book, because it is important to really do the prep work, I think, for any big transition coming up. I've just really noticed where that's helped us, where we've got them, they're totally clear on what's coming up, what's going to happen, and you're almost getting them excited about it. So the fact that we haven't been able to do that, I've put it off. And the other big thing for Leo is that we've been trying to teach him how to ride his bike. And at first he was a bit apprehensive and not very confident, as to be expected when you first learn how to ride a bike. But we've committed to doing like 5 minutes practice every day. And for us, that's been the way to go. We've been using the technique where you put a towel under their arms and kind of hold them along, and gives them the confidence and the balance. And that seems to be working really well. I'm not sure where I found that tip. I think it was probably on Instagram or something, but we've been doing that because I think it would be lovely for him to have got riding a bike before we get to New Zealand. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Leo! That's amazing! And our hope is that when we're in Thailand, that we can progress their swimming, because we haven't done swimming lessons with either of them, and hopefully that's a skill that we can teach them now that we'll both be with them all day every day, having a heck of a lot of beach and water time. So that's our general plan. Obviously I'm not putting any pressure on us or pressure on the children, just we're aiming towards getting those things done. We have booked our shipping provider. Initially we did a video call. You take them round and show them each room, look in the cupboards, the drawers, and they give you a rough estimate. And they said we had about shipping containers and a half worth of stuff. So we've worked hard at slimming down, decluttering. I've done a video on that. If you're interested, I will link it, and have sold loads of stuff. And then we had the person come round physically in person to the house, hey puppy, and have a look at all of our stuff. He inputted his iPad thing, some kind of software, and he reckons now we've got it down to a shipping container, which is awesome. And we've now booked it, so it's going to take 2 days apparently for them to pack everything. They do it all themselves. I keep asking, like, should I put my winter clothes into vacuum bags? And they're like, no, because of the risk of mold and things like that. So they just do it all themselves. All I have to do is make sure that it's clean and ready to go. Unfortunately, because of where we live, in a really quiet place on a no-through road, they can't actually drive the shipping container direct to our house. So we've also had to pay for a van that will like shuttle back and forth. So it'll be interesting to see how that works on the actual day, or the days, across 2 days. Family and friends and saying goodbye. I think I said previously that we were all kind of burying our head in the sand and not talking about it. That hasn't changed much. There have been a few. We've definitely made the most of getting together more as a family. My sister's come down from London. We've like created some really special memories over the last few months, which I've loved. It has ended, or not ended, but at points in those times there have been tears from one or more of us. Someone will say something and then it'll be the realization, like if someone mentions Christmas, or we're not going to be here for Christmas, and then it's, oh God, I feel like I'm going to get emotional now. Sorry. That's unexpected. Well, not unexpected. It is emotional. It is going to be it's going to be the hardest thing about moving, but I think probably it's almost harder for the people who are left behind. I'm talking like we're dying. Obviously we're not. We've got an adventure, and I am so excited now about life in New Zealand. I've been listening to lots of podcasts and watching lots of videos and preparing myself for what life might be like there. No, nothing really prepares you for a move like that until you actually get there, but there's going to be a lot going on for us, and we've also got Thailand on the way, which is going to be really exciting. So I feel like we are in a better position in a way. Like, it's really hard for my mum, who spends so much time with us as a family, my auntie, my aunties, and my grandma, who is 91, and that would be really hard saying goodbye to her. She's about to have surgery, and yeah, it's a lot, but it's not going to change the fact that we are going. So I just want to make the most of every moment we can whilst we're here. We've got doing like a low-key family tea on the Friday before we leave, so that will be lovely to spend time with everybody. And then we are doing with friends a leaving drinks party in the local pub. I say party, it's like everyone meet here, let's have some drinks and all say goodbye. Did think about doing a party, but 1, we can't really afford it, we're trying to save every penny. 2, I didn't really want to have anything else to organise. And 3, it's like, it doesn't feel like woohoo party time. It feels like almost like, I don't know, that's too much. There's gonna be tears. Like saying goodbye to my best friend is gonna be really hard. But I want to remain positive for the children. I want them to see how, life, we do go through changes. Things aren't always going to stay the same, but that's life, and it's about how we handle it and how we manage it that's important. Are you getting too hot? Should we go? Oh, puppy, why don't you sit in the shade? We won't be much longer. Oh, well, you're saying, what about me? You've forgotten about me. Ardie, yeah. So he has had his rabies and his top up and his blood test, haven't you, Ards? Haven't you? He's a good boy. Oh, he's gonna get crazy now. He's a good boy. And that was all good. The company that we're using, Pet Air, to support us with the relocation, they are now in the process of applying for his permit. And what's the other thing? Oh, and booking his flights. We think that he is going to be arriving, if all goes to plan and the booking is smooth, then he should be arriving about 2 months after we get there, and we will be able to collect him 10 days after he arrives because he'll be in quarantine. That's also booked, and it's going to be up in Auckland. We're obviously down near Wellington, so we'll do a little roadie to go up and get him, which will be really exciting. Nice little trip to look forward to. Ardie's going to be staying with my mum just while we're traveling in Thailand, and then a little bit over Christmas while we are settling there. He will be fine. I think we will really miss him. The children will really miss him, certainly. But it will be so exciting going to pick him up, and I can't wait to see the smiles on their faces when he arrives. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you do like what you've seen, then please subscribe, click notifications to always so you don't miss a video, and you can follow along our journey on our big move to New Zealand. Thanks so much. Bye.